Yeah.
You should know about me. You should know about me. I'm Funky D.
And yours?
I even know who I am today, but I'm here still.
See how different he acts because Funky's here.
No, because I got it.
Trust me. I'm glad you know it.
So this one, guys, we're going to really divulge into the fact that Pinky has left the show. And I believe this has been a situation which has been started by Chronik, and then Young Spray has really gone along with the idea of replacing Pinky for Funky D. And this is a bad alternative because you've got someone who agrees with Spray, which being Chronik, always agrees with what Young Spray says and hardly has any words to say unless, you know, Young Spray makes a comment towards him. But now we have three people all agreeing with each other's nonsense. Funky D really doesn't have any questions to ask. And this is where Pinky really does shine in the room because he comes in, he'll ask guests questions. And, you know, he might not always agree and he might have an argument, but that really does give some content. But if you have three people in the room who all agree with each other, it's just going to, personally for me, I think it's going to go downhill. So we need to really bring Pinky back because Pinky brings some balance to the show. You've got two of these men who honestly agree with what majority of what each other says. And then you've got Pinky who finds, I'm sure it's pleasure in disagreeing with the other two. Now, I know that he might get bullied, he might get bantered, but you've got to remember that he knows his position. And that's not like, how can I say, an idiot thing. It's more to do with the fact that, you know, Chronik and Young Spray are really besties, and that might go on a bit further, but I'm not going to talk about that because that would be pure speculation. But what we can agree is that Funky D has this thing for Chronik, and he'll do whatever he can to get onto the RTM show and still remain friends with Chronik. But what Chronik likes to do is direct all of his anger towards Pinky for some weird reason. Well, it's not really weird. It's just the fact that Young Spray, he can't do that with because he knows on the RTM show, Young Spray runs things. And as far as he's concerned, if he was to really get into a proper word for word matchup, and, you know, it was to get physical, Young Spray would literally fire him from the show. So what Chronik does is use Pinky as a way of venting his anger about certain things. And Young Spray doesn't really care how he talks to, how Chronik talks to Pinky. Do you know what I mean? And this is going to be a clip that I'm going to show you for a prime example of this.
You told me about it on this show. Whatever you told me about, it was like, oh yeah, little Nutty, it was a lastminute.com thing. And there was people here. So I didn't, not everything everyone says to me, I analyze at the time for what it actually is. Someone could tell you something, you're just initially, okay, someone was on the show. What's there for me to have say bare things about? But see, when I've gone home, and I've seen now that, okay, it's got to the week, you're putting out trailers, I'm seeing what you're actually talking about. I'm seeing the actual Mind Games trailers and that, nothing to me, I still don't care. But I'm seeing it now in real time, innit? So now I've got something to respond to. So now, but me coming here and responding, I want to know how you took that disrespectfully, because I didn't say anything disrespectful. No, okay.
That's
So no, wait, stop. Yeah,
no, I said that.
That's what it is, though.
Okay. So now we're getting to a point. We're getting to a point of, because I asked you what exactly was disrespectful, and you said, now out of all of the things you said because I told you, I asked you to move, innit? Mm-hmm. But you said before you said that, you said you was bouncing, then you said that you looked at Spray and all this other stuff.
No, because I said to him to move, because remember, I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing?
No problem.
And I'm just trying to get it. You know, they're trying to move.
No problem.
He's come as Ming guy mad.
No problem.
So remember, this is their thing before me.
He can't believe he's moved.
It's his show. You was the co-host before me.
I've trolled after.
You know he's telling me to move. I'm gonna move. You're coming here screaming and shouting and talking about move. Don't think my people are gonna look at that like, what the fuck is Chronik doing telling you to move like that? Like, do you get what I mean? Like, and I'm even thinking that, like, why am I getting told? Because I'm not getting told to move when I'm sitting somewhere else on a normal one. But because it's his show, and because you was the co-host before me, now I'm getting moved like some idiot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you took it like an idiot. You took it like an idiot. So I'll tell you why. Not like that. No, you're perceiving it like an idiot. So no, am I allowed to speak as me?
So if you heard that correctly, Pinky was really annoyed at the fact that Chronik came barging into the studio just after one of his ops, which was nasty, had come onto the show, and he didn't like it. He was annoyed because Chronik was basically told on that episode that he needed to go home by Young Spray. And once the episode had come out and all the trailers started dropping, he started to realize why he was told to go home, because the person that was on the show was someone who he doesn't like and doesn't like him. So he requested that Chronik wasn't on the show. And this was something that Young Spray actually agreed to, because he doesn't want any problems on his podcast. He wants people to feel that they can come on to his podcast and feel relaxed and not have to deal with certain people's nonsense. So if they make a request to get rid of Chronik, he's more than happy to, as long as he gets his content. Now, this also caused Pinky to be part of the firing line, because Pinky was allowed to be on the show with Nasty because he has no problem with him. But Chronik felt that he wasn't being backed by his cast members, especially Pinky, which is kind of weird, because if Young Spray never invited him onto the show in the first place, then he wouldn't have had a platform to speak about anything whatsoever. But Young Spray doesn't care for how Chronik feels. He just cares for content. In other words, you know, like Pinky does it, he's a problem. Yeah, Young Spray does it, he's not an issue, because Chronik knows that Young Spray is really supporting him and giving him a job, and without RTM he would fall over. Now, what seems to have transpired after this fact is that Chronik has basically tried his hardest to, you know, show Young Spray that Funky D deserves a position on the RTM show. And what Funky D has been doing is using, you know, how can I say, he has been using his friendship with Chronik to make it seem as if, say, he's doing all of this stuff not only to support the RTM show, but to be a good friend to Chronik. And this may be a relationship, like I said, that I can speculate for Funky D might mean a bit more, just a bit.
It's already, bro. Remember, man are all from the roads, bro. So man knows what's going on. Man knows about opportunities. But you see, roadman, they will never ever understand anything about life innit, or what opportunities going on, because they want to stay man rooted. But then when you listen to what them type of people are saying, and then you go, all right, cool. So then what platform have I got now? You get me? It's a whole different ball game. So what I'm trying to say to you is this, innit? You see, everything to do with Chronik, you know, that I really care about that part.
Who's scared of? Why is man being silent?
I don't know. I thought he wasn't done speaking, but I don't know. Maybe fucking he's saying fucking. I don't know.
I'm just saying, and I'm just saying to you, innit? Is this?
But it sounded like you stopped midway through talking, innit? That's what I wasn't saying, man.
I was just letting you talk, innit? I was just letting you talk. Because
yeah, but bro,
go on.
I'll be real, yeah. Obviously, like a lot of these things, yeah, we've already like discussing. I don't really want to like go over stuff that we've already discussed and understood in it, yeah. But in the same space, yeah, I understand that people that do road don't understand the content in it. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? And I understand that some things on the line of content. It doesn't mean that somebody can't ring me, that's my brother, and feel the type of way or have an opinion on something because they're necessarily wrong. Do you get it? And it's not always somebody giving me an opinion that is always divide and conquer. When people give me opinions, it's not always bad ones either. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if a man rings me one day and he says, yo, man, I really like this episode, and you're getting better because when you first went on there, like you was a bit too drunk and you slurring or rare. But on the next day he rings me and says, okay, I didn't really like that you did, or I didn't really like that Spray did, or that Chronik did. To me, that's not someone trying to divide and conquer. That's just my brother giving me his opinion on what's transpired.
Let's be honest, Funky D's acting like he's trying to help Pinky, but what he's doing is trying to basically draw him out and make him look foolish, especially in front of Young Spray and Merciless Ming, which we might have to start calling him from now. Because at the end of the day, why Funky D seems to have this obsession with the RTM show and Chronik is just above me. And this is why I say there might be more going on, because he seems to have this idea that he can talk down to Pinky. And this is where Pinky is starting to really get frustrated with the RTM show, because you lot are allowing this guy to just talk to me like anyhow. And Young Spray is just in the background trying to stir the pot and annoy Pinky even more. And this really isn't fair from someone who's literally been on your show for almost a year and you still don't have any respect for the guy. Like, at the end of the day, it's all good and well taking a mick out of Pinky every now and then, but there's a point where you just got to turn around and say that this is just absolute mock. Why would you put someone on the show, or put someone even in a live cast show, for example, on TikTok with someone they don't like, and this person is your co-host? And this is probably another reason that, you know, Pinky just really got annoyed with the RTM show, because he's constantly being attacked by the co-hosts or guests that come on the show. And then on top of that, the RTM hosts seem to just allow Pinky to get talked to, however, by Funky D. Now, Funky D didn't just stop and say this comment. He's continued to antagonize Pinky to the point where Pinky just doesn't even want to talk to him. And he seems to always have to talk about Chronic and the RTM show, because we all know that Funky D is just begging it so hard to be on this show.
Each other.
Stuff and making them come on stage chatting shit about my brethren on stage. Why no one talking about that bit?
Wait, Funky D's a wind up, bro. It's a whole wind up.
Hey, do you know what? Yeah. Hey, Spray. Respectfully, bro. Yeah, I'm out of here. Tyro's up. Bless
No,
him.
Pinky, stay. Pinky, stay. Pinky, stay. No, Pinky, stay.
He's gone.
Pinky, stay. No, Pinky, stay, because obviously Vic Santoro's your guy, so stay.
He's gone.
I think you, off the strength of Vic Santoro, stay in it. Because you see what it is, you're not from man's ends, innit? So you think like so many different things, but you're getting everything twisted, bro. You need to understand, anything to do with RTM, brand damage, and I take that seriously. Anything to do with Chronik, I take that more seriously, bro. And I was just letting you just know that one thing there. It's nothing personal, it's just business. You think I'm gonna be fed up with spraying that? Well, go on, spray, and I'm hearing someone chatting shit, and I'm not gonna be backing it. And I'm not even on the couch. But guess what, though? I know what his woman is, and I know what respects their dues, bro. That's all I'm doing it for. You're just leaving the stage in that, but you've got brethren, you've got gal on your stage and that. Obviously, if you want to get the panani, bro. But just settle yourself and go, you know what? Let me just explain this, innit?
So guys, did you hear that? Let me play it again for you so you can hear exactly what Funky D said about Chronic.
And I take that seriously. Anything to do with Chronik, I take that fucking more serious.
As you can see, that Funky D has really been trying his hardest to get onto the show and will do anything to back the show. But at the same time, as much as he wants to be on RTM more, he would rather be, connected with Chronic, be in love with Chronic, and that's what he sees. He sees it as a relationship, and he just has to back him. He takes it so personal that anyone says anything about Chronic, he actually feels like they're getting onto him, like they're on his back, and that is just such a why for that moment, because you have to consider the fact that these are two grown men. Chronic doesn't need you to stick up for him, but like the emotional girlfriend, or the girlfriend who is going to stand by their man, this is what Funky D does. And he thinks it's just cool to carry on calling out Pinky and never ever call out anybody else. And he says that he has this personal thing, which he loves RTM and loves Chronic more than RTM, so he'll back Chronic to the hills. But it's funny to see this, because when you look at the most recent show and Chronic and Young Spray start arguing, Funky D has nothing to say, because he now knows that he's in the same position that Chronic is, that he can't open his mouth. He has to speak when spoken to. And even some of the questions that Funky D comes out with, bro, I just don't even, we need to have Pinky back, because this is not the right guy to replace him.
Nobody even knows it's different.
You do
It's
know.
debatable.
You do know.
It's
So
debatable.
you started all this.
Debatable.
Yeah,
They love
TikTok. They love it, man.
You started all this.
I used to love TikTok.
You love it. Stop it.
Yeah, they
You
love
love
it.
it.
Man, rinse out space.
No,
on
no,
TikTok
Chronic was
now.
the king of spaces.
Yeah.
No, and Funky D. I
Look,
can't.
yeah,
style
that's
Funky.
my channel.
Yeah,
I can't find style Funky.
He was the guy on.
That's my
Yeah.
channel, but that.
Yeah.
But
But he's the guy on TikTok as well, man.
Now, if you look at Funky D, when they're talking about this TikTok thing, Funky D just says Chronic is the guy. Chronic is just the guy. And he looks so shy, and he looks like there must be something going on here, guys. We need to investigate this. Hopefully seeing more Funky D on the show will show a light to the fact that maybe him and Chronic have something much more deeper going on. So we can see how shy he is, how, Chronic makes him get in his feelings, and he looks down at the floor. And even Chronic can't look at Funky D when he's speaking, because they have this relationship. When they lock eyes, it just turns into something else. Now, I'm going to play you the bit where, and like I'm saying, I feel like if Pinky was there would be so much better arguments. But, Young Spray, like I said, argue with Young Spray and Chronic, it's just pointless. And those two arguing against each other, Chronic knows his place. There's only so much he can really say to Young Spray. And Young Spray knows he can say everything to Chronic, and Chronic basically will just, shush himself.
Because I just feel like I I'll go so mad if someone on road mashed you up.
Yeah.
So why am I doing it?
You don't want that
Type
in a
of thing.
Am I mashing up?
No, I'm saying my youth.
I'll mash up my youths.
Yeah, I know you would.
I would mash up my youth.
Oh, did you say you wouldn't?
My own youth.
Yeah.
Why would I mash my youth up for?
If they went mad. No, I'm saying if they went mad, like if they needed to get licks
You
in it.
smack your kids.
Discipline. I've never needed to.
Okay.
I've hit my. one
Yeah,
of
but
my
if
kids
you
once.
needed to, you would. That's what we're talking about.
No, but he
If
doesn't smack his kids.
So that means you think I haven't needed
He
to?
said he didn't need to. He said he hasn't needed. You just said you haven't needed to.
Yeah, but you're not letting me answer because you want me to
That's what
say
you said.
what your answer.
Bruv,
No,
that's
no.
what you said. I've never needed to. I didn't ask you to say it. That's what you said.
I beat my kids. No
Yeah,
problem.
I
Go
didn't
on.
no, but I'm saying, no,
Somehow you see me with my kids more than me.
no, you've just said, yeah, you haven't had a reason to. You've said it. It's on camera. You've said it. We didn't ask. You know what I'm saying?
No, we've had this conversation on RTM before, right?
I can't remember. bruv.
Because you can't remember, why would I say that now if I've already said I had to hit my kid for setting a fire?
Yeah, so then
Yeah,
that's
so how could I have
there's a
said that
reason then,
today?
innit?
Yeah, but so
No, but what? Yeah, but you didn't even hear what was said before that. So what's the point of even entering the chat if you don't?
because
even know
as
what
soon
we're
as I
talking
did, I
about?
asked straight away,
You get what I'm
what
saying?
have I hitting my kids for? And you told me, so I was in it.
Forget what you was hitting them for. The thing was whether we hit or not.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm
But
saying?
you said I would beat her
Because
smashing
you
my
would.
kid.
I know you
But I
would.
wouldn't.
Because you
smashing my
would.
kid.
I know you. You did.
All right, space.
No, but you got to say you did.
No, you know more than me.
But you
about
just
my-
said you hit him.
All right, I'm agreeing with you.
So you didn't hit him for
No,
that?
whatever you said,
but
you
I'm
tell
saying-
me what I done.
No.
You was there.
I can't remember.
What do you mean you can't
just
remember?
said-
You
you just said-
can't remember. You wasn't there.
I can't remember the episode that you spoke about it, bro.
Definitely, but that's why I just reminded you why I couldn't have said what you said. But it's cool.
Funky,
I will
break it
smash
down,
them in. I
please,
will,
'cause I don't know what he's
I
talking
will
about.
smash them in.
100%. No, but 100%. I know you would. I know you would. But that's what I was trying to even explain. But me, like, for some reason, I can't. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, like, I get mad. Like, I don't know. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, man's got me mad. But then I think about it and I think, you know what I think? I think, raw, man was way worse.
Now, what did I say to you guys about this RTM situation and Funky D? Funky D knows better than talk up. He just sits there in silence, looks down, looks shy, and then gives Chronik a little glance as if to say, what do you want me to say, Bubs? What do you want me to say, babes? Like, I keep saying that Funky D is just a supporting act for Chronik. Chronik has brought him on the show just purely for the fact that he agrees with everything he says, just like a good woman. Like, you know, Chronik basically sees what he would want his baby mums to be in Funky D. Constantly bigging him up, constantly making him look like the big man, and that's it. This whole argument is just stupid because Chronik in himself literally stated that he had to hit his kid because he set a fire. Now, I don't know if interpretations are mixed up when he's saying mash him up and all of these sorts of things. So Chronik might not understand mashing up your child. And Young Spray seems to have this idea that because his child is just like him, he can't do anything. He's not going to discipline his kid, even though he knows his kid is being bad, which is just horrible parenting. And you can't really, you know, listen to people like this about being parents because clearly they really just don't want any input and expect their kids just to grow and have, you know, no responsibility in the way that they act, even if they act bad. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it here and hopefully we can see Pinky on the next show. And guys, you know, I'm signing out. Like, subscribe, share, all that nice stuff. And I'll see you on the next one.